Cypress. I'm just a farmer in Fredericksburg. We grow vegetables and berries and peaches, and most of which is organic. Unfortunately, the peaches aren't. I came to this conference last year and asked, how do we do organic peaches? And they said, you can't. So we tried, I promise. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and introduce the first speaker. This is Karen Ford is going to speak first. She's with Water PR.
So I'm stand-in tonight for Raymond Slade, and he couldn't make it at the last minute, and they put the word out through the Hill Country Alliance Network, and because of my work with Water PR and on ag issues in the last year, I decided I could come and talk to you guys about agriculture and the state water plan. So Raymond is a scientist, and he was coming to talk about drought, and I will do my best to convey some of his points, but I also want to bring to you some of the information about the Harlingen Irrigation District and the work that they're doing on ag water efficiency. And so I'm going to be going through my PowerPoint here manually. So I'm here representing Hill Country Alliance as well as Water PR, and for the work that we've done with Harlingen and their grant from the Texas Water Development Board, and a program that we developed for them called the Texas Project for Ag Water Efficiency. So I also, I'm going to share some points on the state water plan, and I brought some Hill Country Alliance beautiful calendars, our annual calendars, and I will put them in the back after this meeting too. They're not there right now, but please, I only have 50 of them, so first come, first serve, and we've got a lot of good information in there too. So agriculture in Texas has been called a water hog, and as it stands right now, it certainly looks that way. It uses the lion's share of our water supply in Texas. 60% of water goes toward ag. And so all eyes are on Texas when it comes to water for the future. So we know that the production of food is vital. Many of you are involved in that cause, and your livelihood and your business depend on water. You can't grow food without water. So this bottom figure here, the economic value of organic production in Texas, I got from USDA. They apparently did a survey of certified organic farmers in the past, well, it was in 2011, and that was an estimated number that came from them after they did their survey of the farms. So it's a pretty hard thing to grow food without water and to farm without water, and I don't know if Raymond coined the phrase the hydrological cycle, but he certainly uses this slide a lot, and I wanted to share it as well in my talk. I don't know where we are right now, but I think we're somewhere between concern and panic. What do you think? And then I looked at the Palmer Drought Severity Index today, and to look at where we are right now in our country, but you can see that in Texas, the orange and yellow parts are moderate to severe drought we're still in, and I'm sure those of you who farm are very, very aware of that. But another reality that agriculture in Texas must face is that there's going to be a lot of competition for water in the future. So this is a chart that Water PR put together, and we took the data from the state water plan. And so it shows that in 2060, which is the projection for our current state water plan, that municipal and industrial water use will reach almost 13 million acre feet a year. And then it will be 60% of our water demand in Texas, and irrigation is declining. The water available for irrigation is declining and will go down to slightly more than 38%. So if you haven't read or looked at the state water plan, it might be some time well spent to take a look at it. The big takeaway from the state water plan is that ag producers are going to have to do more or the same, but with less, and that's less. So there's a few things I want to share with you from the state water plan. Here is a map of the future. If you look at these columns, note that the left column is right now, 2010, or close to now. And the right column is 2060. Blue is water, and the orange color is municipal use. So you can take a look at that and see where municipal use is going up almost everywhere, certainly from the middle of the state east. And use is going down, ag water is going down, water for agriculture is going down almost everywhere.
Blue is irrigation?
Blue is irrigated ag water. So this represents the 7 sectors of the state water plan, which are mining, county other, steam electric, manufacturing, livestock, municipal, and then irrigation, again, is blue.
Is this specified groundwater, or is it groundwater and surface water?
Both. Water for ag, both. Which groundwater, of course, is the big chunk of that. But in the valley, the dependence is on surface water. The Rio Grande provides the water for the valley. So the plan explains some reasons that are behind the decrease in irrigation demand, and that's because of perhaps some more efficient irrigation systems. We'll talk about those in a minute. We know that our aquifers are dropping, reduced groundwater supplies, and this is happening today, certainly in the valley and other parts, that water rights are being transferred from agriculture to municipalities. So in the state water plan, the total water shortfall projected by 2060 is more than 8 million acre feet. And there are 3 strategies that account for more than 2/3 of that additional water needed. And one of those, the top, is called other surface water, and it makes up the youngest part, but that supplies from places where there's no conveyance, no pipelines, there's a place where there's no water supply contract, places where there's no run-of-river water rights. So there are either physical or legal reasons why that other surface water is not yet tapped into. The other is major reservoirs, and then irrigation conservation is supposed to make up about 17% of the shortfall in our water needs for the future. So you would think that irrigation efficiency and conservation would be pretty important when it comes to water planning, but there is no place in the state water plan that really discusses specific strategies to achieve the 1.5 million acre feet per year in water saving projects. So here's the capital costs as well. You probably have heard that $53.1 billion is what is needed to pay for the state water plan as it exists today. And the blue, of course, is your municipal projects and strategies, and that's where the funds are the big part of those funds are gonna go from the water plan. And only about 2% of the budget is earmarked for anything for agriculture. So again, that's 2% earmarked for ag to account for 17% of making up that water budget. But the good news is that ag producers in Texas are already doing some good work with irrigation efficiency, ag water conservation. The Texas Water Development Board has funded multiple ag water demonstration initiative projects and proven that there are some ways to reduce water use on irrigated agriculture and be more efficient. So with regard to groundwater, there's been already a pretty massive conversion away from flood and furrow to center pivot and low pressure application systems. So those are both energy and water use efficiency are greatly enhanced when these low pressure center pivot systems are used. With regard to surface water irrigation, the Rio Grande Valley, under the Texas Project for Ag Water Efficiency, they've shown water conserving benefits without forfeiting crop yields, and we're talking about narrow border flood for citrus, surge irrigation on row crops, and soil moisture monitoring. And there's also new tools and technologies being used in the form of telemetry automated gates and automation and SCADA systems to increase efficiencies of moving surface water conveyance. So there's a number of proven opportunities to improve water efficiency. However, the USDA Economic Research Service reports that less than 10% of irrigated farms use any of these efficient water management tools. So clearly, education, economic incentives are needed to encourage a more rapid adoption of some of these plans on a voluntary basis at this point. So here's something to think about when it comes to choosing what strategies are going to offer the biggest bang for the buck in Texas. So in the Rio Grande Regional Water Plan, that's Region M down in the valley, they have 14 municipal water management strategies at a cost of $1.9 billion, and that's the amount of acre feet that will net. And then there are only 2 irrigation strategies mentioned at a much lower cost at a much greater yield of water. So we really want to look at a bigger focus on irrigation and incentives for irrigated farmlands to adopt some of these technologies and new ways of doing things. But as you probably know, the farmers have a pretty small, what is it called?
Voice.
Profit margin and voice probably too. And so it's going to take some help and some other incentives and programs to help adopt some of these things. So to that, I want to let you know, all of you know, that there is a ag water forum being planned right now in Austin on February the 25th. Water PR, the firm that I work with, is producing this event with support from a dozen or so sponsors of irrigation districts and river authorities and water conservation districts and other producer groups. And this event is to raise awareness among Texas lawmakers about the issues that affect water use in agriculture and about the trends for the future. So I hope that the leadership and some members of the Texas Organic Farmers and Growers Association will come and join us for the conversation, and you can find out more on the website here about the agenda and who's coming to speak. And again, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to be here and speak tonight. And I've put down some information on the various groups that I represent. I encourage you, if you haven't gone to look at the Hill Country Alliance, particularly if you're working in the Hill Country, to see some of the work that we're doing to bring light to resource issues and resource protection. And the water plan is on the Texas Water Development Board site. It's a long URL, so just Google it or go to the site and search for it. And there's my information if you want that also. So thank you very much.